They say hindsight is 20/20. If only we could go back and change the mistakes we made, rewrite the chapters of our lives that brought us pain. But what if? What if I told you I got that chance? In my past life, I was a fool, a hopeless romantic, chasing a man who barely noticed me. I sacrificed everything, my dreams, my happiness, my dignity, all for someone who never truly cared. I enrolled in the same university as him, tailored my entire existence to fit into his world, believing that if I worked hard enough, he would finally see me. But I was wrong. He saw me, yes, but only as a convenient presence, a shadow in the background, never the center of his universe. I spent years stuck in that cycle of heartbreak. I ignored my passions, abandoned opportunities, and lost myself completely. And then one day, everything ended. My life ended. But fate had other plans. When I opened my eyes, I was back. Not in the afterlife, not in some dream, but in my body, years before everything fell apart. I had been reborn. At first, I thought I was going crazy. But then I realized this was my second chance. A chance to fix everything, to reclaim the life I truly deserved. This time, I wouldn't waste my time chasing after someone who never valued me. Number. This time I would choose myself. The first thing I did? I changed universities. I knew that staying in the same place would only pull me back into old habits, into his orbit. So, I applied to a different school, one that truly aligned with my goals and ambitions. My parents were surprised, but they supported me. For the first time, I was making a decision for myself, and it felt liberating. At my new school, I focused on myself. I joined clubs, made real friends, and rediscovered my passion for writing. And the best part, I no longer lived in the shadow of unrequited love. I was finally free. And then, something unexpected happened. He reached out. The man I had once given my entire heart to was suddenly interested in me. He had noticed my absence, my change, and for the first time, he was the one chasing me. But I had outgrown that version of myself. I no longer needed validation from someone who had once overlooked me. I had found something greater, myself. Rebirth is not just about getting a second chance at life. It's about learning from our past mistakes, choosing self-respect, and understanding that the greatest love story we will ever experience is the one we build with ourselves. And so, I claimed the life I truly deserved.
Reborn, a new chapter of self-love and unexpected turns. They say healing isn't a straight path. It's messy, full of twists and turns, and sometimes the past doesn't let go so easily. Just when I thought I had moved on, life decided to test me again. Embracing a new life. After transferring to my new university, life felt like a blank canvas. It was strange at first, waking up in a dorm room that wasn't haunted by old memories, walking through hallways where no one knew my past and no longer searching for him in every crowd. For the first time, I focused entirely on myself. I joined the literature club, rediscovered my love for writing, and even published my first short story in the university magazine. I made real friends, people who saw me for who I truly was, not just as a girl hopelessly chasing after a love that was never meant for her. And then, something even more unexpected happened. A new connection. His name was Daniel. We met in a creative writing workshop. At first, he was just another classmate, kind, intelligent, and always carrying a book in his hand. But as weeks passed, I started noticing little things about him. The way he listened when I spoke, the way his eyes lit up when discussing his favorite novels, the way he made me laugh effortlessly. For the first time in my life, I wasn't obsessing over someone, I was simply enjoying their presence. And that felt refreshing. One evening, after class, he walked me back to my dorm. As we stood by the entrance, he hesitated for a moment before saying, "You're different, Lila. There's something about you, like you've lived through something most people wouldn't understand." I smiled, thinking about the life I had left behind. The pain, the lessons, the rebirth. "Maybe I have," I replied softly. "The past returns." Just when I thought my new life was untouchable, the past found its way back to me. One night, I received a message from him. "Layla, I miss you. I've been thinking about you a lot. Can we talk?" I stared, at my phone, my heart pounding, not with excitement, but with a strange mix of emotions. The old me would have dropped everything, eager to hear his voice, desperate to be seen. But I wasn't her anymore. I had rebuilt myself from the ground up. And yet, a part of me was still curious. What did he want now, after all this time? Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet him. Closure or temptation? Sitting across from him in a quiet cafe, I realized how much had changed. He was still the same. Charming, confident, saying all the right things. But for the first time, I saw through it. "You look different, Lila. Happier." He leaned forward, his gaze searching mine. "I am," I said simply. He hesitated. "I was stupid before. I didn't realize how much you meant to me until you were gone. I want to try again." For a brief moment, old feelings stirred inside me. The memories of sleepless nights spent waiting for his texts, the ache of wanting to be chosen, the foolish hope that he would one day see my worth. But then, I thought about everything I had built, the friends who truly cared for me, the stories I had written, the quiet happiness I had found within myself. "I spent so many years chasing you," I said, my voice steady, "and you never once turned around. Now that I've stopped running, you want to come back. I'm sorry, but I've moved on." He looked stunned. Maybe, for the first time in his life, he had lost someone who wouldn't wait for him. I walked away that night, feeling lighter than ever before. Choosing myself. Life continued, and so did I. Daniel and I grew closer, not in an obsessive, all-consuming way, but in a healthy, natural rhythm. He respected my past, but never let it define our present. But the greatest love story wasn't with him. It was with myself. I learned that love shouldn't require chasing. It shouldn't feel like a battle to be seen or heard. Real love, whether romantic or self-love, is quiet, steady, and fulfilling in ways desperation never could be. So, I stopped running. I stopped proving my worth to people who couldn't see it. And for the first time in my life, I truly felt free.